stand out above all of those other ones. If you make a mistake, totally fine. Leave it light, it'll darken it in. It'll fade away. Now let's go ahead and get started here. For Jack, of course, what shape do you think we're going to start with?
Circle.
Circle, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You don't even have to have a very good circle. If you have like a wonky, strange looking circle, that's just going to be closer to the Tim Burton style. He is a huge fan of the very unique, the strange. His own style is very strange as well, kind of sketchy, which is perfect for this class actually. So once you have your circled out, let's go ahead and bring some guidelines. I'm going to find the middle up at the top, and we're going to pull a C curve down to the bottom. Just like that. Now we also need an eye line. We're going to follow kind of the middle here as well and bring across a letter U. Just like that as well. And that's pretty much everything we need to get started. Now, if we just drew his head, we'd be done in like 2 minutes. So let's extend that. We're actually going to add in his neck and his bow tie. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to bring in 2 little diagonal lines. And what is his bow tie? Anybody know?
A bat.
A bat, yeah. So let's go ahead and add that in here too. I'm going to start with a hill, just right down at the bottom of the neck. And we'll add in 2 curves to connect here. So we have like a kind of a shark tooth or a
guitar pick,
horn, a Dorito. Only the Cool Ranch kind though. And then our little bat is going to need some ears. His eyes are not very useful. Of course, for all bats, their eyes are not very useful. Echolocation is how they do everything. We're adding in these little blades of grass up at the top. And for the eyes, I'm just going to add in these little seed shapes on the inside. We're going to do 1 and 2 little seed shapes. And you can go ahead and start locking all this in. We're going to lock in, well, pretty much everything actually. The ears, the bat head, the neck, and the head. We can go ahead and lock all of that in. Now Jack here, he went through many different trials and tribulations in the making of this film. He had originally a all black suit. Can anybody tell me why that doesn't work in The Nightmare Before Christmas? Too dark, absolutely. Yes, it is definitely too dark for that film. When they did testing, they realized, oh, this is not going to work. He is a floating head. The rest of his body just disappeared. So they had to figure out, how are we going to change things, make it work for us? And Henry Selick, who was actually the director of the film, not Tim Burton, he brought in a little paintbrush, some white paint, and he painted the suit, he painted the bow tie, and he made it all stand out. And that really saved them on budget. Their budget actually was not very big, and they went over quite a bit during the making. But they managed, and he definitely helped save it. Now, I like to add in the pinstripes and everything on his bow tie, but we still don't have a bow tie to put them on. So let's go ahead and add some wings for our little bat here. I'm going to extend off in each direction. We're going to do 3 hills. And the middle one, we usually like to make this the longest. 1, 2, and 3 there. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just a little bit shorter for this side since we're not seeing as much with this angle. And go ahead and add in these C curves on the inside. The sharper you make these, the more scary it's going to be. The more round you make them, the cuter. So it's up to you if you want this to be more Halloween or more cute. And something you can try, the Tim Burton challenge, would be to use your non-dominant hand. When they were designing the characters for the film, they actually had to create over 200 characters. Because Tim Burton, when he created the poem, there was only 3 characters in that poem that were actually for the movie. Anybody know who those 3 characters were?
Jack.
Jack, yes, of
Zero.
course. 0, and...
Boogeyman. Oh, wait, no, not Boogeyman. Oogie Boogie.
Santa.
Yes.
Ah!
What was it?
Santa.
Santa. Yes, absolutely. Santa is the last one. And Tim Burton got the idea, actually, when he was an animator for Disney. He went out on, I believe on his lunch break, and went over to a department store, saw that, oh, they're mixing Halloween and they're already putting up Christmas. It's probably like July. And he thought, what if we mix these two? And he created the poem from there. He actually pitched the idea to Disney while he was an animator there, but they did not put that idea through. They kind of just put it on the shelf. However, years later, when Tim Burton was a famous director and absolutely huge, they came back and were like, wait, that guy, he animated for us. He pitched us something. And they were like, hey, we want to make this movie now. And he's like, I'm a famous director and I'm very busy. I cannot do it. But my friend Henry Selick, let's put him on this. And he still wanted to make it, so of course he made it happen. Now we are almost done here. Another thing that we need to add in for him are those eye sockets. Let's go ahead and add those. They're going to be large ovals. I like to build it up in sections. So I'm going to start here with the right eye, or his left eye, technically. But we're seeing it here on the right. And we're going to add in these two large C curves right up to that eye line. I'm going to round out the bottom with the letter U. And then same thing up at the top. We're going to add a little hill this time. Create that big oval. And, Disney actually, when they were making this, did not want to have eye sockets for Jack and Zero. They thought it was going to be a little too creepy for audiences. They didn't think kids would like it. They were kind of right at the time, but Tim Burton and Henry Selick didn't want to change their vision, these characters. So Disney said, well, if you're not going to change it, we're not going to release it under Disney. So they released it under Touchstone Films. Anybody heard of Touchstone? No?
No.
It's like the sister studio or the ugly stepchild for Disney. It's whenever they have a movie that they are not sure is Disney brand, they release it under Touchstone instead. And you know what? As soon as this movie popped off and got really popular, Disney slapped their name right back on there. All right, another oval on the left side, a little bit thinner, because we are seeing his face at an angle, but definitely shade him in nice and dark. Disney eventually did get their way, in a way, because they got Coco, which has skeletons with eyeballs. And that's kind of what they wanted for Jack and Zero. But I'm really glad that did not happen. Now, the hardest part, follow along really closely here. Everybody watch. All right. Yeah, just his little nostrils here. Not that he needs them, he's dead. But last but not least, we're going to go ahead and give him that big smile. And his smile reaches from ear to ear. If he was alive, it would be a humongous smile. So we're going to pull up this curve on the right, very flat in the middle, and then we'll just kind of twist it up here on the left. It's almost like a really stretched out W. And then you can add in some lines along his smile. Finish that up. Any extra details you may want. Maybe you have time or room to draw his best bud, his favorite ghost dog Zero. You can definitely do that. Add in any extra details you want. But make sure you find a place on your page. Go ahead and sign your name. Every artist needs a signature. In the end, how do we do?
Good.
Good. Okay, I love that. Yes. Silence from everybody else. Yeah, for sure. Did you have fun drawing?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, awesome. Well, I would love to see all of you. So on the count of 3, let's turn our boys around. We're going to have an art show. 1, 2, 3, turn those boys around. Hey, these are looking awesome down here. Very nice job. Very abstract. Super cute going across. These are amazing. Look at all of these. Nice job here. Oh, he's so tiny but adorable. Very good. Look at these. Oh my goodness, awesome. Nice job on the smiles. Really dark shading on the eyes. Fantastic, everyone. Give yourselves a round of applause.